This video is about Osiris defends the underworld from chaos, but Anubis interferes. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. Part 1: The Shattered Veil. In a realm where the sun kissed the horizon with golden rays, the Underworld lay beneath a labyrinthine domain wrought from shadows and echoes of the past. It was a land of the departed, ruled by Osiris, the god of the afterlife, who wore a crown of emeralds and held a crook and flail, symbols of his eternal authority. The souls of the brave and the noble came here for judgment, while those steeped in treachery and malice trembled at the gates, awaiting their fate. Osiris stood upon a throne carved from obsidian, surrounded by the swirling mists of forgotten lives. The air was charged with anticipation, resonating with whispers of the past. Today was no ordinary day, the balance of life and death hung in the balance. Word had spread of a malignant force rising from the depths of chaos, threatening the sanctity of his domain. The council of the gods gathered in a celestial chamber high above the earth, their faces etched with concern. Ra, the solar deity, illuminated the chamber with flames of divine light, while Thoth, the wise scribe, unfurled ancient scrolls to reveal prophecies of doom. A great disturbance stirs beneath the veil of the underworld. Chaos seeks to breach our borders, Thoth proclaimed. A shiver coursed through Osiris as he considered the implications. Chaos was more than a mere adversary. It was an embodiment of disorder, a force that sought to unravel the very fabric of existence. He knew he must act swiftly, for the consequences of inaction could lead to annihilation. But there was another presence in the room, lurking in the shadows: Anubis, the god of mummification and the guardian of the dead. With a furrowed brow and the head of a jackal, he was both revered and feared. His loyalty to Osiris was unwavering, yet a darkness lingered in his heart, one that was split of betrayal and ambition. As the council debated strategy, Osiris felt an unsettling gaze upon him. Anubis, he called, his voice steady. What say you? Should we conjure the spirits of the ancient warriors to defend our realm? The jackal-headed god stepped forward, his eyes gleaming with a mix of admiration and challenge. My lord, there is merit in summoning the dead, yet should we not harness the very chaos we seek to defeat? In its depths lies the power to reshape destiny. Osiris narrowed his gaze. You tread a perilous path, brother. To commune with chaos is to invite its madness into our hearts. We are the guardians of balance. We cannot afford to waver. Anubis' expression darkened. Does it not jest with irony, Osiris? We have always been defined by our orders, yet chaos offers liberation. It is a tempest that could forge us anew. Before Osiris could respond, the air crackled with a surge of dark energy. A rift opened above them, a vortex swirling with vivid hues of red and black, pulsating like a heartbeat of the universe. From within emerged a creature of sheer terror, a monstrous amalgamation of shadows, eyes, and jagged teeth, its form shifting and undulating, defying logic. Chaos had come to claim what it believed was rightfully its. I am the harbinger of disarray, it roared, its voice a cacophony of tormented souls. Bow before me, and I shall grant you power. Resist, and witness your worlds unravel. Osiris raised his staff, summoning energy that shimmered with the essence of the sun. You shall not enter this sacred domain, he declared, his voice steady. The gathered gods rallied around him, channeling their divine energies into a formidable barrier. But in the shadows, Anubis watched with intrigue, captivated by the chaos that unfolded. He felt an insatiable compulsion to understand its nature, to wield its power for himself. What if we do not fight against this force, Osiris? What if we embrace it and wield its chaos to reshape our destinies? He suggested, his voice a hypnotic whisper. Before Osiris could respond, the rift expanded, and chaos charged forward, its tendrils attempting to invade the underworld. The gods braced themselves, the battle was upon them. Osiris focused his will and unleashed a torrent of light, forcing the creature back. Stand with me, brothers and sisters, we must protect our realm. But Anubis hesitated, caught between the allure of chaos and the duty to his brother. He felt the pull of the void, a seductive promise of strength. As the other gods rallied against the encroaching chaos, he found himself stepping away, out of their protective circle. Let them fight their feudal war, Anubis declared, his voice echoing through the cavernous chamber. I shall delve deeper into the heart of chaos. I will discover its secrets, for therein lies ultimate power. Osiris turned in disbelief, witnessing the divide growing between them. Anubis, no, do not let your ambition lead you astray. Remember your duty as a guardian. But Anubis was already consumed by his own dark thoughts, and with a flash of speed, he leaped into the swirling chaos, disappearing into the maw of the creature. The other gods faltered, their attention divided as chaos roared with delight. You would abandon your own kin for the whispers of insanity? Osiris shouted, his heart heavy with betrayal. Anubis' voice echoed back from the depths, a taunting refrain. I seek not just power, brother, I seek understanding beyond the veil of life and death. I will return, and you will see. As Anubis vanished, the rift began to close, but not before chaos lashed out with tendrils of darkness, entwining itself around the gods and stealing their strength. The underworld trembled as a cataclysmic clash commenced, the battle of light against darkness, order against disorder. Osiris fought valiantly, channeling the spirits of the righteous. The phantoms of ancient years arose, wielding spectral blades, cleaving through the tendrils of chaos. Stand strong, we are the guardians of the realms, he bellowed, a beacon of hope amidst despair. But as the struggle raged on, the gods found themselves cornered. Chaos was relentless, thrashing against their defenses. The realm of the dead was crumbling, and the spirits within cried out in fear. Desperation surged through Osiris. We must draw upon the essence of the underworld itself, every soul, every memory, combine your strength. He raised his staff high, igniting it with a blinding light, a rallying cry for all. The souls responded, merging their energies into a torrent of brilliant light that surged forth and battered against chaos. The creature recoiled, shrieking as it fought against the onslaught, but the tide of light was relentless. As the battle reached its zenith, Osiris felt a glimmer of victory. Yet a part of him trembled, knowing that Anubis was still lost within the chaos. Would he succumb to darkness, or would he rise as a dark avenger, wielding the chaos against his own kin? In the heart of the storm, Anubis was no longer just a god. He was an explorer of the void, dancing between the shards of light and shadow, grappling with the essence of chaos itself. Could he conquer the darkness within, or would he allow it to consume him whole? The fate of the underworld hung precariously in the balance, as Osiris and the gods pressed forth, their resolve unyielding. The battle for existence, a clash between duty and temptation, destiny writ large upon the canvas of time. As the echoing cries of the fallen filled the air, the true quest had begun. Would Osiris reclaim the balance, or would chaos reign supreme? And what of Anubis? Would he emerge a harbinger of doom, or a savior forged in shadow? The tale had only just begun, and the gods would soon learn that the heart of chaos held secrets that could change everything. Hashash Part 2: The Dissonance of Shadows and Light. As the radiant light surged from Osiris, it created a barrier that pushed back the monstrous tendrils of chaos, momentarily illuminating the darkened halls of the underworld. The phantoms of ancient heroes rallied around their king, wielding swords forged from the essence of stars long extinguished. Each strike they made sent ripples through the air, as if the very fabric of reality quaked in response to the defiance of the gods. Yet the threat loomed larger than ever, and Osiris felt the weight of destiny upon him. Stand strong, we are the guardians of the realms. Osiris roared, his voice echoing like thunder as he channeled the energies of the fallen. With each blow from his staff, radiant beams sliced through the darkness, purging the enticed shadows that sought to consume them. But chaos, a relentless tide of malice, twisted and writhed, its form shifting into grotesque shapes, each visage a memory of despair, a reminder of loss. It howled, "You cannot banish me, for I am the void, the disorder that exists between breaths. Your light is but a flicker in my abyss." In response to the challenge, Osiris grew more resolute. "Together, we shall be the flame that ignites this darkness. We are the harmony of life and death, and I will not allow you to shatter our balance." The phantoms surged forward, their ethereal forms coalescing into a wall of glimmering light. With their combined strength, they slashed at the tendrils, freeing trapped souls that had been ensnared in chaos's grasp. One by one, the souls returned to their rightful place, whispering prayers of gratitude as they vanished into the ether, their energies reinvigorating Osiris and the gods. Yet amidst this fray, Anubis was lost in a world where shadows danced with temptation. He traversed an ethereal expanse, pulled deeper into the heart of chaos, where time twisted and reason faded. He could feel its pulse, a chaotic rhythm that spoke to his very essence, igniting a fire within him that was both exhilarating and terrifying. "Join me, Anubis," a voice echoed through the void in a luring siren song that resonated with his spirit. It was chaos itself, whispering promises of power and insight. "You fear me, yet you crave what I offer. True understanding lies in surrender. Embrace me, and you shall see beyond the veil of existence." Visions flickered before Anubis' eyes, a realm where life and death were but fleeting illusions, where he could reshape the fate of the underworld and enforce his own will upon the cosmos. Memories of betrayal and ambition flooded his mind. He had always been the shadow, the one who walked just beyond the light. Now, he felt the intoxicating pull to dominate the void rather than be bound by it. No, he roared into the depths, struggling against the allure. I will not be your puppet. I am Anubis, god of the dead. I shall find my own path. But Chaos merely laughed, its voice a cacophony of despair. You are already tangled in my grasp, Anubis. Your heart yearns for this freedom. Do you not wish to wield the power to redefine this world? It is within your reach. Outside this tumultuous realm, the battle waged on fiercely. Osiris, summoning waves of divine light, fought valiantly with his fellow gods. Hathor unleashed beams of solar energy that cut through the darkness, while Horus soared above, unleashing avian strikes, his wings fanning flames that seared the tendrils. Yet the relentless creature retaliated with a fury unmatched, its shadows reaching into the very core of the underworld. Your light is but a flicker, I will devour you all. A sudden roar echoed from the depths of chaos as the creature drew upon its power, surging forward with a force that shattered Osiris' defenses. The barrier flickered, and the gods stumbled, their strength waning. Fall back. Thoth cried, his voice urgent beneath the weight of despair. We must regroup. There is no honor in fighting a losing battle. Osiris replied, his heart pounding in his chest. We cannot yield. We are the guardians of the dead. We must stand for Anubis. In that moment, as Osiris rallied his kin, shadows twisted and morphed, forming a bridge that connected the realm of the living with the heart of chaos. Anubis emerged from the void, his figure shrouded in darkness. His eyes glowed with the flicker of duality, a spark of light midst the shadow, a reflection of both the chaos he had embraced and the guardian he had once been. The gods turned, their expressions a blend of shock and trepidation at the transformation of their brother. Anubis, Osiris exclaimed, torn between relief and dread. Have you come to aid us, or do you bring more darkness into our midst? Anubis stood on the precipice of the battlefield, chaos swelling around him, a tempest of shadows and light. I have come to share truth, he declared, his voice a mixture of authority and uncertainty. Chaos is not merely to be fought, it can be harnessed, transformed into a weapon against the void itself. Osiris stepped forward, his brow furrowed with disbelief. You've succumbed to its whispers. This is madness. You cannot ally with that which seeks to destroy us. The only madness is in refusing to see the potential within the chaos, Anubis countered, his voice rising above the cacophony. I have glimpsed the truth beyond the veil. Together, we can wield this force to our advantage. We can redefine the very essence of life and death. A moment of silence enveloped the battlefield as the balance of power teetered on the edge of comprehension. The gods exchanged uneasy glances, caught in the tumult of doubt and hope. Osiris felt the weight of responsibility pressing down upon him. What you propose may lead us into greater darkness. Think of the price we may pay. Anubis stepped closer, his form shifting as he wielded the very shadows that danced around him. What price is greater than the loss of our realm? I will show you that chaos can be a force of creation, not just destruction. Trust in me, brother. With a deep breath, Osiris considered the depth of his brother's words. You speak of power, Anubis, but at what cost? The essence of our sacred order lies in balance. Will we not risk losing that if we abandon our principles? The battle around them raged on, tendrils of chaos slashing out, threatening to consume them all. The gods found themselves caught in a deadly embrace between light and shadow. Anubis extended his hand, shadows coiling around his fingers like serpents. Join me, Osiris, together. We can command this chaos, bend it to our will, and forge a new destiny. Osiris felt the turmoil within him, the pull of possibility mingling with the desire to protect. I do not know if I can trust you, brother, but I will not abandon you to the depths. If we must tread this precarious path together, then let it be so. The air crackled with energy as Osiris reached out, taking Anubis' hand. In that moment, their fates intertwined, shadows and light merging into a brilliant aura that enveloped them. The other gods watched in awe as the brothers stood united against chaos, a union of fraught loyalty and desperate ambition. Now! Anubis shouted as the shadows surged forth, intertwining with Osiris' radiant light. Let us unleash the true power of the underworld. Together, they channeled their combined energy, summoning the spirits of the ancient warriors and the essence of the dead. A torrent of light and shadow erupted forth, creating a storm that raged against the encroaching chaos. Tendrils of darkness recoiled, caught in the violent clash of opposing forces. Chaos shrieked in fury, its monstrous form now swirling maelstrom of confusion. You dare defy me, I am the end of all things it held. In defiance, we find strength. Osiris and Anubis shouted in unison, their voices reverberating through the battlefield. As the gods rallied behind them, the energy surged, forming a blinding vortex that began to consume chaos itself. The fabric of the underworld trembled under the weight of their combined power, the ground shaking as light and shadow converged into singular force. Osiris felt a surge of hope coupled with dread. Would this be the moment they reclaimed their realm, or would it be the catalyst for their enduring? As the final clash erupted, a blinding explosion of light engulfed the battlefield, illuminating the darkness that had threatened to choke the underworld. In the heart of this tempest, destinies intertwine, bound by honor and ambition, light and shadow as the gods prepared to confront the very essence of chaos itself. The tale of betrayal, courage, and the struggle between light and darkness had only just begun. Would they emerge victorious, or would they find themselves forever lost in the chasm of despair? The whispers of fate echoed through. Part 3: The Convergence of Fates. As the blinding explosion of light settled, the underworld lay in a surreal hush, a fragile moment where time seemed suspended. The gods stood, breathless, eyes wide in astonishment as the remnants of darkness slowly dissipated, revealing a realm transformed. Osiris and Anubis, still entwined in their deadly dance of light and shadow, felt the repulsive energy coursing through them. "Have we done it?" Anubis' voice trembled, a flicker of hope igniting in the depths of his heart. "Is this the dawn we have forged from chaos?" Osiris nodded, his expression a blend of relief and caution. "We have pushed back the darkness, but the threat remains. Chaos is not defeated, it lurks, waiting for the chance to strike again. We must be vigilant." The gods gathered around them, their faces illuminated by the radiant glow emanating from the union of light and shadow. Hathor looked to Osiris, her eyes shimmering with tears of gratitude. "We owe our survival to you and Anubis. Your courage has given us a second chance." Yet Anubis felt a creeping doubt as he gazed into the eyes of his fellow deities. "But at what cost? Dear sister, the shadows have tasted my soul. I am no longer merely Anubis, I am bound to the essence of chaos." "Then we shall rise together," Horus declared, his wings spreading wide as he hovered above the ground. "We will forge a new path, one where chaos becomes an ally rather than an adversary. We must learn its secrets." Osiris frowned, torn between the exhilarating vision of transformation and the dire warnings that echoed within him. "This is not an easy path to tread, Horus. Chaos is capricious, and the deeper we delve, the greater the peril we may face. We cannot forsake our purpose as guardians." The chamber resonated with tension as the gods debated their next steps. Shadows flickered at the edges of their gathering, remnants of chaos lingering and swirling like a tempest waiting to strike. "Enough!" Anubis' voice thundered, cutting through the murmurs. "We are not here to cower in fear. We have tasted power from the abyss, and we can wield it wisely. Let us explore the depths of this chaos, turning its power toward our defense." "But how?" Thoth asked, his brow furrowed with concern. "We must harness it without succumbing to its madness. There lies a thin line between mastery and servitude. Then we shall need to delve deeper to confront the heart of chaos," Osiris proclaimed, his voice steady. "If we can understand its essence, perhaps we can bind it to our will, but the journey shall be fraught with danger, and sacrifices may be required." With a hesitant nod, the gods agreed to embark on this treacherous quest. They gathered their strength, uniting their powers in a ritual that would open a pathway into the chaotic realm. A shimmering portal formed before them, pulsating with the dark and light energies intertwined. "Prepare yourselves," Osiris instructed, his heart resolute. "We step into the unknown, trust in one another, for only together can we navigate this storm." As they crossed the threshold of the portal, they were engulfed in a maelstrom of shadows and flickering light, bodies twisting through dimensions, each moment a sensation of disorientation and terror. Echoes of souls long lost surrounded them, whispers of both despair and ecstasy filling the air. Suddenly, they emerged into a vast expanse, an uncharted landscape where chaos reigned supreme. The ground shifted beneath their feet, morphing into waves of liquid darkness and brilliant light. The sky above churned with swirling colors torn between night and day. "We are in the heart of chaos," Anubis whispered, awe-stricken. "Feel the pulse of its essence. It is alive, breathing, waiting for us to embrace it." The gods stood at the precipice of fear and wonder, but Osiris was wary. "Stay close. We must remain united, for the chaos seeks to isolate us. Do not lose sight of our purpose." As they traversed this strange domain, monstrous beings emerged from the shadows, grotesque figures crafted from the very essence of chaos. They twisted and writhed, their forms shifting into abominable shapes, twisted visages of the fallen, echoing with the cries of the forsaken. "Defend yourselves," Osiris shouted, raising his staff. A blinding beam shot forth, slicing through the nearest creature, dissipating it into a shower of shadows. Horus swooped in, his wings radiant, as he unleashed fierce talons upon another beast, his heart racing with exhilaration. We can conquer this madness, strike with purpose. Anubis, feeling the dark energy surge within him, wielded the shadows as weapons, forming ethereal blades to slice through their foes. Harness the chaos, we are its masters now. The battle raged on, chaos swelling around them as they fought fiercely against the relentless tide of darkness. The screams of the monstrous beings filled the air, mingling with the resonant cries of the gods, creating a cacophony that echoed through the realms. But amidst the chaos, Osiris felt the struggle within Anubis. He could see the flickering shadows threatening to consume his brother so entirely. Anubis, remember who you are the guardian of the dead. Do not let the chaos define you. For a moment, Anubis faltered, the shadows hesitating around him. That I am Anubis, but I am also more. This power, it calls to me. Osiris shouted, remember your duty, we fight not just for ourselves, but for all souls. Do not let the darkness blind you. With a fierce effort, Anubis shook off the dark temptation, refocusing on their shared goal. You are right, brother. Together, we will prevail, we will bind this chaos to our will. As the gods rallied against the encroaching monsters, they began to forge a plan. Anubis and Osiris channeled their energies together, blending light and shadow, creating barriers that pushed back the chaotic forces. Now, Osiris bellowed, lifting his staff high. Let the essence of the underworld flow through us. We shall weave a tapestry of unity, turning chaos into our shield. The gods joined hands, their energies intertwining, forming a magnificent shield of light and darkness that encased them. The chaotic creatures recoiled in fear, sensing the power radiating from their combined forms. Stand firm, Anubis urged, his voice echoing with resolve. We shall withstand this storm together. We will command the chaos. With a collective surge of will, they unleashed their power against the creatures, twisting the very fabric of chaos until it bent to their command. Beams of light and tendrils of shadow coursed through the air, striking true and transforming the chaos into a whirlwind that danced as a force of creation rather than destruction. As the last of the monstrous creatures fell, the landscape began to shift. The chaos, once a void of despair, transformed into an ethereal garden, vibrant and alive, filled with swirling petals of light and shadow intermingling in harmony. Osiris looked around, a sense of accomplishment swelling in his chest. We have done it, we have reshaped the chaos. But Anubis, still feeling the pull of darkness, stared into the distance where shadows still lurked. The chaos is still here, we have only bent it to our will, we must remain vigilant, it can turn again. Suddenly, the ground trembled violently beneath their feet, and a fissure opened, releasing a wave of pure chaos that threatened to swallow them whole. It seeks to break free. Hathor cried, her voice laced with panic. Hold fast, Osiris commanded, raising his staff once more, channeling the energies of both the underworld and the essence of chaos. We will seal it, together! As they fought against the encroaching void, the gods formed a circle, their powers converging into a radiant sphere of energy. The shadows and light spiraled around them, forming a barrier that absorbed the chaos, drawing it inward. Now, Anubis shouted, focusing the essence of chaos that had become part of him, creating a binding force that echoed with the strength of both realms. With one final surge, they hurled the chaos into the fissure, sealing the darkness away. As the last remnants of chaos dissipated, the world grew still, a serene calm enveloping them. Breathless and exhausted, the gods stood united, their bond forged in the crucible of chaos. Osiris gazed at Anubis, a mix of gratitude and concern in his eyes. You have embraced the shadow without losing yourself. This is a new beginning, brother. Indeed, Anubis replied, a faint smile breaking through the remnants of doubt. But we must always remember the price of power. Chaos is a force to be respected, not merely harnessed. As the gods emerged from the heart of chaos, they returned to the underworld, changed yet resolute. They had faced the depths of darkness, and though the shadows would always linger at the edges, they now wielded the knowledge and strength to confront any storm. United in their purpose, they vowed to God. ## Part 4, A Dance with Shadows. The triumph over chaos had brought a fleeting peace to the underworld, but shadows still flickered at the edges of the gods' newfound harmony. Osiris sat upon his obsidian throne, the weight of his crown heavy on his brow. He gazed into the swirling mists, where echoes of lost souls lingered, reminders of the chaos they had barely contained. Each whisper was a ghost of uncertainty, a portent of trials yet to come. Beside him, Anubis stood, his form a striking juxtaposition of light and shadow. We have forged a new existence from chaos. Brother, he said, his voice steady yet laced with a tremor of doubt. But I cannot shake the feeling that chaos still festers somewhere, waiting to erupt anew. Osiris nodded slowly, the corners of his lips twitching under the weight of unspoken fears. We must fortify our defenses and ensure the fabric of order remains intact. The balance shall not falter again. He lifted his staff, a golden light emanating from its tip, illuminating the darkened corners of the throne room. We are the guardians of this realm. We cannot succumb to despair. As if summoned by their words, a figure cloaked in darkness emerged from the mist, a creature shaped from the very essence of chaos. It was the harbinger they had thought defeated, its form a swirling mass of eyes and teeth, grotesque and horrifying. Fools, it roared, its voice reverberating through the chamber like an ominous drum. You think you have chained me, but I am the void, and the void cannot be bound. The other gods, hearing the creature's taunt, rushed to Osiris' side, their collective energies flaring with indignation. Hathor's radiant aura pulsed, filling the air with warmth. We shall not falter. Together, we are stronger than any darkness that dares cross our path. But Chaos laughed, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. Your light is but a flicker in my abyss. The more you resist, the stronger I become. With a lurch, it surged forward, tendrils of darkness reaching out to ensnare them. Prepare yourselves. Osiris shuddered, his voice cutting through the chaos. We shall not bow to this monstrosity. He raised his staff and summoned the spirits of ancient warriors, their ethereal forms coalescing into a shimmering battalion. Stand together, brothers and sisters, let the legacy of the noble guide us. The gods formed a protective circle, their energies intertwining like vines of light and shadow. As the tendrils of chaos lunged forward, they unleashed their collective power, sending a wave of brilliance that crashed against the darkness. The force of their strike illuminated the chamber, turning the void into a kaleidoscope of swirling colors. But chaos was relentless, roaring with fury as it twisted and writhed, transforming its form into grotesque figures of despair, the lost souls it had consumed. You cannot escape your fate. I will consume you all. Horus took to the air, his wings spreading wide as he dove toward the creature, talons outstretched. I will not let you harm my kin. He struck with the force of a tempest, but chaos merely absorbed the blow, its form undulating and reforming around him. Strike true, Horus. Anubis shouted, feeling the darkness within him stir. We must embrace the chaos within and use it against itself. Our combined strength can turn the tide. In a flash of inspiration, Osiris raised his staff high, drawing upon the essence of the underworld, invoking the spirits of ancient warriors once more. We are the defenders of balance. Let the light guide us. With a powerful thrust, he unleashed a beam of pure energy, merging it with Anubis' shadowy essence. The resultant force crackled through the air, illuminating the chamber with an incandescent glow. Anubis felt the shadows surge around him. They were no longer oppressive. Here, in this moment of unity, he found clarity. Join our powers, let the energies of chaos and order meld. He thrust his arms forward, shadows intertwining with the light, creating a colossal wave that charged toward chaos. The creature shrieked, its form fracturing under the sheer power of the combined gods' attack. No, you cannot, it howled, but the onslaught was unstoppable. As the light and darkness collided with the creature, it began to crumble, tendrils dispersing into the ether. But as victory seemed imminent, a tremor reverberated through the underworld, and from the depths of the abyss, a rift opened, a portal swirling with chaotic energy. Fools! Chaos' voice echoed from within. You've only unleashed what lies beyond the veil. I will return. The rift widened, and from it emerged monstrous beings shaped from pure chaos, horrific visages of nightmares become real. Osiris' heart sank as the onslaught of creatures poured forth, their forms grotesque and terrifying. We must hold the line, defend the underworld. The gods rallied, their spirits ignited with resolve. Hathor unleashed waves of solar energy, incinerating the approaching beasts. Stand firm, we shall hold this line together. Her voice rang out, a clarion call that ignited courage within their hearts. With renewed vigor, Horus soared above the fray, a beacon of strength. We are the guardians of the realms, fight with honor. The battle raged on, chaos erupting around them. Monsters clashed with gods, darkness meeting light in a cacophony of roars and shouts as each deity fought with all their might. Osiris wielded his staff, striking against the creatures, while Anubis danced between shadows, his movements fluid as he transformed the darkness into weapons that cut through the monstrous forms. Yet, amidst the chaos, Anubis felt the weight of despair creeping back into his heart. He could sense the shadows whispering, tempting him with promises of power and understanding. No, he shouted, grappling with the internal struggle. I will not succumb to your calls. Osiris caught his brother's gaze, understanding the war brewing within him. Remember who you are, Anubis. You are more than the darkness. You are the guardian. Fight with us. With those words, Anubis found his strength anew. Together, we shall prevail, he yelled, unleashing tendrils of shadow that lashed out, binding the monstrous creatures in place. The gods united their energies, channeling their hurtling assault into a blinding burst of light that tore through the chaos. The tide began to shift, and the creatures faltered under the onslaught. "Now is our moment!" Osiris cried out, his voice resonating with conviction. "We drive them back for the souls we protect." As the gods poured their essence into the attack, a brilliant sphere of light and shadow formed above them, pulsating with the raw power of their unity. They hurled it toward the heart of the chaos, where the creature of disorder writhed in agony. In a cataclysmic explosion, the sphere shattered against chaos, engulfing it in a brilliant display of light. The air crackled with energy, and the tendrils of darkness slowly began to retreat, pulling back into the rift from whence they came. The echoes of the fallen whispered their gratitude as the tide turned in favor of the gods. As the last remnants of chaos were banished back into the void, a profound silence enveloped the underworld. The gods stood amidst the ruins, breathless and weary but victorious. Osiris turned to Anubis, his eyes filled with pride and concern. "You have faced the darkness within and emerged resilient, but know this, chaos will always seek to reclaim what is lost." Anubis nodded, understanding the truth of his brother's words. "I will guard the threshold between light and shadow. I have learned that it is not the absence of darkness that defines us, but our ability to confront it." With renewed purpose, the gods gathered together, forming a resolute circle. "Let us forge a new pact," Osiris declared, his voice ringing with authority. "We shall remain vigilant, guardians of both light and shadow. Together, we shall weave the fabric of existence, ensuring that balance prevails." As they clasped hands, a profound energy surged through them, binding their fates anew. The underworld, thus God, remained a realm of hope and resilience, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the gods. In that moment, as the first light of dawn broke the horizon, illuminating the depths of the underworld, Osiris and Anubis stood united. They were a living testament that even amidst chaos, honor and perseverance would guide them through the darkest nights, for their destinies were forever entwined, a saga of light and shadow, woven into the very essence of existence itself. And as the echoes of their battle faded into the annals of time, the underworld thronged with the promise of new legends yet to be written.